I really thought we played well tonight. I thought the first inning was huge. Bennett's so good, and big leaguer out there, and to draw to draw him the first game of the championship series, I think is a tough challenge for the offense. But after 2 outs, Tim got a big base hit. I think he advanced on a wild pitch pass ball, and then Kevin got a huge hit through the 6-hole, which one of the things we did in practice yesterday, getting those left-handers to work the other way, and so a lot of credit to Kevin, a lot of credit to Coach Clem, but I thought that was big, to get on the board in the first. Obviously, Jack had a tremendous day, and just I thought. Super fastball command, super slider command, and he just lived ahead in the zone or ahead in the count, and we got scratched a few more runs, and then we kind of had a hiccup there. Yeah, they get a couple of hits, another bunt that we don't make a play on, but I thought Mason, true freshman, comes in there, and obviously such a big moment in that game. I thought that was really the baseball game there, to get off the field there with just a couple. And, then, of course, we hadn't scored for a while. And the big home run by TJ, and then, bench. And then, of course, I guess Calvin was in between. But three home runs, back to back to back. I don't know if that's ever been done here at this stadium.
Sure. Okay, questions for the student athletes, and we'll start right here. Michael.
Michael Katz, Daily Journal. Jack, I think this was your first start in almost 3 months, almost to the day. How's the last day kind of been for you in terms of handling emotions, and how do you kind of keep yourself composed, given the gravity of the game?
I tried not to think about it too much. Just wanted to go out there and be myself. Found out yesterday that I was starting. My mom actually got mad at me because I didn't tell her. I didn't want to think about it too much, didn't want to get in my own head. I just wanted to go out there and pitch.
Okay, right here.
Austin Elders with the Rebel Walk. Mason, coming in a situation like that as a true freshman, what does that do for your confidence when you come in a situation like that? You only allowed the 1 run there towards the end of that inning, but then you get out of just a huge situation. What does that do for your confidence?
It was great. God gets all the glory for that, though, because I asked him for some peace and some strength before I went out there, and he gave me both. So I was just so excited to get out of it for the team. It was a great opportunity, and looking forward to the next couple of days.
Okay.
Nick Suss with the Clarion Ledger. Mason, kind of what did Mike say to you before you started warming up, and what was the mentality approaching somebody like Graham, who is so successful?
Yeah, my mentality was I know that Graham's a great hitter, but whenever I came in, I just wanted to throw my best pitches. And Coach was calling it. He told me when I came out there, just fill up the zone, slider away first pitch. So that was the game plan. I was just trying to get my slider down, throw the fastball, locate it well, and I did it.
Okay. Next question, student athletes.
Briley from Mav Radio. What set the tone in the top of the 8th inning when you hit 3 straight home runs?
I think we knew we needed to get a couple more runs. They've got a good offense, and we were holding them at bay, but would have felt a lot better to get a couple more runs. And whenever TJ hit that ball out, it felt like all the momentum shifted to us, and then Calvin followed with one, and JB followed with another. So it was great to get those runs in, and huge hits by those guys.
Okay, Mike.
This is for any of the players. Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. Can you talk a little bit about what that general atmosphere was? Were there times it felt like a home game with all the noise that was in your favor?
Yeah. I would say there was probably 20,000 Rebels there, and it was an amazing environment. Super fun to play in, and just having all that support it makes it a lot of fun to play. So, shout out to our fans for making it up here to Omaha and making it a really cool experience so far.
Okay, John?
Tim, John Sokoloff of WCBI TV down in Columbus. What was that moment like when those back-to-back-to-back homers were hit? What was the dugout like, and how high was morale? Because at that point, the game was pretty much over after those three were.
Morale was real high. We've done that before. We hit 3 homers in a row at home, but definitely trumps it hitting here. It was a really, really cool to watch, and I think I was in the hole for the last one, and just taking in all the fans going crazy in the outfield, and it was a really cool experience, and like you said, just helped to carry us there at the end of the game to the win.
Okay, Mitch?
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Jack, what allowed you to have so much success today, and could you walk us through what you were throwing?
I think I was only fastball slider today, but Coach B grabbed me before the game and said, just be you. Go out, attack with your fastball, get ahead in counts, and just pitch like you pitch, and you'll be successful.
Okay, we got Rick up here.
Yeah, Rick Cleveland, Mississippi Today. Mason, it's a pretty big situation. Any nerves at all? I mean, did you butterflies? Any?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, yeah, 100%. For me, I had plenty of butterflies. The biggest thing was that the coaches have been good enough to trust me and put me in those situations earlier in the year, in big environments like Trustmark Park, Swayze, those sort of places. So I was just focused on doing my job, and I'm glad I got it done.
We're going to start here, Michael, and then get you, Ryan.
Michael Katz, Daily Journal. Tim, you guys had 6 2-out RBIs today. I think that's 15 here at the College World Series. Kevin, a couple days ago, said those can really be backbreakers. I know all runs are pretty big in these sorts of games, but just how big are those 2-out rallies?
They're huge, and we harp on it all the time that even with 2 outs, there's still 33% of the inning left. Sometimes teams can 2 outs, people are getting ready to get back in the field, but there's still a lot of inning left, and we take that to heart and try to drive runs in, and like you said, those can be backbreakers. So anytime you get runs on the board, it's good.
Okay, Ryan, this will be our last question for the students.
Yeah, Ryan McGee, ESPN. Tim, everybody else has done a really good job of having a poker face, and you spent the whole time up here trying to suppress a smile. So how over the next, between now and tomorrow afternoon, how do you manage that? Like the excitement of tonight, but also knowing you got to get a business. And then as the leader of the team, how do you manage that with everybody?
As you know, I don't really smile a whole lot. I usually keep a pretty straight face, but no, we still have another game to win. It's obviously great to win the first one, but we still have one more to take home the whole thing. So we'll be rested up tomorrow, focused up, and ready to win one more.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheer up. Cheer up. Okay, questions for Mike, and we'll start right here with, we'll get down here.
Michael Katz, Daily Journal. Mike, you brought up how great Jack was today. First start since that Tennessee series, which just kind of gave you the confidence that he was the right guy for this sort of moment.
I think a couple things. One, looking their approach at the plate. They're patient. They're a very patient team. They walk a lot. And felt that we needed somebody that was going to fill up the strike zone, and the guys that were available. I thought he was the best guy to do that. I thought he could deliver and land some sliders early, but again, you didn't know he was going to walk out there and throw 5 perfect innings like that. I was asked earlier, hey, what was your expectation? And I try not to box him in, try not to put that kind of pressure on him. There's a guy that's been in a bullpen, as you mentioned, probably the last 60% of the season, and he's been really successful at that, and you want him to have that approach, right, and to go attack the zone and make pitches early, and so try to keep that mentality versus have some arbitrary, inning total that he's supposed to get, or how many outs he's supposed to get. Just go out there and get the first out, get the next out, put a 0 on the board to give us a chance to score, and he was even better than that today.
Okay, right here.
Chase Bourne, Rebels.com. Mike, when it went 8-2 right there, you were kind of caught in the middle. You throw Johnson for an inning, Mallets, extend him. Kind of what was your thought process on what to do there?
Yeah, it's a tough one. And we had Gaddis down there, in case he was available to pitch, but he really didn't want to throw him today, coming off about 75 pitches a couple days, but he was available, wanted to throw, wanted the ball. But is he the best? Normally he would be a great option, in that situation because, he pounds the strike zone with a lead. You got a lot of left-handers in that lineup, but that's really probably not the best place for him at, whatever it was at the time, 8-2, 8-3. It was a coin flip, and you've seen me enough. We get to that point, the guy's already thrown, he's hot. Let him finish it. Let's win the game and move on rather than try to dissect it too much. But then we went out and scored a couple in the ninth. The lead got a little bigger, and so we ran Derek down there because, again, he's another strike thrower, and but we didn't need to use him.
John Sokoloff, WCBI TV down in Columbus, Mississippi. Mike, it was the first time since 1998 here that there were back-to-back homers, and those were essentially kind of what helped really put the game away. I mean, I asked him about it, but what was that kind of like for you there?
Yeah, everybody will talk about the 3 homers, but the first one was huge, because we kind of screwed up an inning, not getting a bunt down. We go for a steal. Their catcher makes a perfect throw at third, and they get Peyton, and it looked like, we're going to kind of, just kind of wreck an inning that it looked like we were going to be able to score. And, TJ comes in left on left, and I think it was a breaking ball, that he got a great swing on and, hit it into the bullpen. So, and then, of course, Cal, where he hits them, not many balls, as get out to that spot. And then, of course, Justin jumps in, as well. So I thought that, that kind of knocked the wind out of their sails. It would for anybody. But I thought the big one was TJ, just because of the way the inning looked like it was going to end.
Mike, Jared Redding, 24/7 Sports. I know you said a couple of days ago that you expected a lot of Ole Miss fans here tonight. Did you expect it to basically be like an amplified Swayze Field tonight?
It felt like Swayze Field because of how many Ole Miss, because how partisan maybe it was, but man, it felt like a football game out there. On the field, it was that loud. Swayze's been pretty loud. I don't know if Swayze's ever been that loud. When they played Sweet Caroline, whatever inning that was, I've never heard anything like that. And so just impressive and just. Thankful, and I think as a coach, it's really neat to sit back, and you don't do it too much in the game, but it was so loud that a couple of times you did. You look up and go, wow, all these people showed up here. It's not an easy place to get to. It's not a cheap place to get to, and a lot of people, it meant the world for them to be here this weekend, and they're passionate, aren't they?
Austin Elders with the Rebel Walk. Coach, obviously Mason talked about it a little bit, but from a coaching perspective, how big is it for you seeing that guy come out of the bullpen and be able to deliver in that situation?
And he really has done it. It's easy to say he's done it the second half of the season, but especially in postseason. We haven't been in a lot of tight games, and that might have been obviously where he's at, on this stage, but bases loaded, no outs, and facing one of the best hitters in the country, and he gets a couple punch outs, and and then he lets one get across, but that's really my fault. We just didn't try to hit a double or a gapper and score everybody, and he's able to land a slider a lot, but it probably should have went fastball and just made him hit it. But we didn't want to risk that, where we were in the game.
Rick
Cleveland, Mississippi Today. Mike, what was your thinking when you went to Nichols? A lot of people, in fact, I thought you might go to Mallets at that point.
Yeah, I thought it was a little early for Mallets. At that point, you're looking at outs and how do we get to the end? And now again, if I knew it was bases loaded and it was 4-1, then maybe I would have done it differently. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work as perfectly as that. We don't field the bunt, and then he walks a guy. The guy that was had a no-hitter, a perfect game going, and he was awesome. But all of a sudden we misplay a bunt, a couple base hits, which is obviously part of the game. But then we don't field a bunt, we don't get an out. And then he walks a guy, and so Mason was the guy that was up at that time and hot and ready to go. Mallets wasn't ready, and so sometimes. But originally going from the 6th inning on, there's a lot of game left. There's 12 outs left, and I thought that was going to be too much to put with a lead to put too much on Mallets and Johnson to get to the end. We wanted to see if Mason could get us an inning or two.
Oops.
Colton Sully, OU Daily. Coach, just want to ask you about facing Cade Horton tomorrow. Obviously, was previously committed to Ole Miss. What unique challenge does he bring on the mound?
He's really had a great last month or so, and coming off of surgery, and he's got tremendous stuff. Saw a little bit of his game again. We were preparing for this game and preparing for Bennett, so I haven't really, locked in too much. But I know he's pitched really well, down the stretch here, and had a great game, the other day here, and guy is, super talented.
Nick, this will be our last question.
Nick Suss with the Clarion Ledger. Mike, I know it's natural to feel the anticipation for the guys being one win away. How do you handle or kind of harness those emotions going into the quick turnaround?
I think they get it. We'll talk about it, in meetings tomorrow. But you want them. You're ready. You want them. I think sometimes you worry too much about being too calm. That was kind of the message today, is to go for it. You're here, in a national championship series, and you deserve to be here, and it's time to press the gas pedal and go for it. To be aggressive. So we'll try to juggle that. I think they realize that you got to win. To win, you got to play really well to beat a really good team in the other dugout. You don't get to this point not realizing that.
Mike, thank you, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't you know?